We bike. Let's be real about being average. Where is it going? It's been a month.
What's good, y'all? I ain't see y'all in a year.
Don't start that.
You knew somebody was going to do something.
Don't start that. No. Don't
I
start
miss
that.
y'all, man. I miss y'all, bro.
Yes, it's been a long time, like my name says. So
shouldn't have left you. That's what you was about to say after that.
Yeah, there you go. See, I knew somebody was gonna catch it.
All right, man. Let's get it started. As y'all know, real talk. Sheedy, what you got for us?
Hey, man. Glad to be back and glad to start this new year with LBR, man. But we got some disappointing news coming straight from the most popular sport in the United States of America, and that is from the NFL, National Football League. We're going to start with two and talk about two coaches, and we'll expand as well. And these coaches look like the guys that are talking right now, African-American gentlemen. Start first with David Culley. David Culley was the former head coach of the Houston Texans. If you remember the Houston Texans, that same team that, doesn't have J.J. Watt, traded, they no longer have a star wide receiver that they traded for peanuts. And got David Johnson back, who did what? I don't even remember. What was it? 400 yards, if even that, through the entire season.
Forgot he was still in the league.
Yeah. And the coach that actually did this is, actually was interviewing for another position, but we'll talk about that also later. But this Texans team actually went this entire season without, I believe, and you guys can push back, a top 10 quarterback within the league when he is fully healthy. Which is Deshaun Watson. This team matched their win total of 4 wins from the previous season. And also, by chance, one of those wins, I'm going to talk about another one of those ones, but one of those wins actually kept a team out of the playoffs, and that is the Chargers. But he was fired with a team that probably couldn't even beat, and we'll get to them later, the Alabama Crimson Tide or the Georgia Bulldogs. So, what's your guys' take about what is going on in Houston? Is there a problem? And from there, we'll start with Savage and work our way around. Skylar, Toot, Shark, and then Trevor.
If I'm not mistaken, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't there like a rule where you could get like a 3rd round pick when you hire a minority candidate as a coach or a GM?
We talked about.
I don't think it's higher. Yep. I think it's actually even just interview.
Okay. Yeah, that's some BS. Like, so you brought this man in for 1 year, knowing that you had a situation with Deshaun Watson, knowing that Bill O'Brien traded all of your good players for nothing, and expected him to do what? I watched a couple of Texas games just because it was on TV, and from what I saw, that team responded well to David Culley. That team competed. Like, the Texans was not an easy out for anybody. Like, it was not an easy out at all. And so to fire him without any sort of controversy that stemmed from him, controversy came from Bill O'Brien, who's no longer with the team. It came from Deshaun Watson, who has his own issues that still have not been resolved. David Culley, for what the job that he was given, did a good job, in my opinion, to build on it. You were not going to beat the Titans because the Titans are the best team in the division. The Colts, you were not going to beat the Colts. The Jaguars were the Jaguars, but I don't know what you could have expected out of David Culley, and then to have him do well. And what hurts me even more about David Culley is he's an older guy, so this is his first opportunity to be a coach. He's like in his 60s. He's an older guy. He was with Philly for I want to say 14 years with Andy Reid, and he couldn't get a job, developing all those receivers we had in Philadelphia. So I don't know, man. I feel bad for him. I don't think he'll get another job just because that's just the nature of the beast in the NFL with the Rooney Rule that they claim works and it doesn't. David Culley, I feel bad for that man. I hope somebody picks him up so he can get another chance to be an offensive coordinator. But Houston, I don't know. It's so confusing what they did to him.
Yeah, and to your point, I totally forgot about that rule, but I remember us talking about that rule on this podcast, how some teams may try to manipulate that rule. Like, okay, well, if I interview and hire a minority coach, then I automatically get this 3rd round pick. How long does that coach sit in the office? And this clearly is an example of that. I think it's absolutely it's crazy how Black coaches don't get the patience that they aren't allowed to, to develop their team. They're not allowed to even have a complete legit roster and then not be a reason for like their team to do well versus like other coaches as well. I think that's so like it's really really frustrating. We kind of all, in a sense, kind of all knew where this was coming, but I think the other thing that's been most important that I heard about as well, I think is Ian Rappaport said that like he was let go because there were changes that the organization wanted to make that he wasn't willing to make, that doesn't make sense to me because this man has been coaching in the NFL for like 16 seasons or something like that. So for him to say like no, or to push back that much, and then like for him to say like no, I don't want to do what y'all are telling me to do, just for me to not keep my job, like that doesn't make sense to me. This is it's just crazy. I don't know. For a sport that we all love and watch like on a week to week basis, damn near on a daily basis, and like for them to continue to make like decisions like this, it's sickening, honestly.
Cap, how you feel about all this, man?
One, I take the fan portion of it first. As a Titans fan, who we lost to David Culley the first time, and the second game they gave us a run for our money. So cool. In that sense, I'm fine with the dysfunction going on with the organization. But on a black man and just job pairing way over, how the heck he get fired? Like I predicted him to go 0-17 this year. And some people probably projected them on to win 1-2 games. They won 4 and they were competitive. The Patriots game, they could have beat the Patriots. It was down to the wire. They could have beat us the second time, went down to the wire. I can name numerous games where they were in it, kind of like last season. When they fired back Bill O'Brien or whoever their interim coach was last year. So to me, I don't know what they expected, especially with their roster. Like he's winning with Tyrod Taylor at quarterback, and they're trying to develop Davis Mills, who got better as the season went on. I saw the transition, him looking better in that last game versus the beginning of the season. So running back, he got Rex Burkhead out here looking like how Cordell Patterson came out this year. Like Rex Burkhead did the same thing. Like, he can do something outside New England. Like, so I don't understand it, but let the division dysfunction go on. I love my division. We got the Houston doing what they're doing. We got Jacksonville doing what they're doing, and we got Carson Wentz doing what he's doing. So it's fine with me. It's fine with me on that sense. But I'm
so jealous. I'm so jealous. So jealous.
In that sense, it's fine, but it's messed up. And to answer that, guys, man, I appreciate you tuning in. Anyways, I hope I didn't mispronounce your name. Arian Parks.
Just call him AP. That's AP.
Yeah,
so
AP.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah,
cool.
Just say AP.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. He said, did they expect anything out of him, or was he just a transitional job? It sounded like he was just transitional by the reports that I've heard.
Yeah, the Rooney Rule is the Rooney Rule because the Roonies are the only ones that care about it. So that's first and foremost. Word to the Steelers. But David Culley actually, like everyone has pretty much said, he had this team like very, very competitive like throughout the entire season. Like nobody really expected them to win 4 games this year. Like a lot of people said, we predicting them to possibly go 0-17, given the situation with Deshaun Watson. But for them to actually be as competitive as they were throughout the season, you at least would like to try to see it through, and it kind of will put pressure on your front office to try to put something of a roster together just to see what can he do from a coaching standpoint. Like to Sharky's point, we saw that Rex Burkhead could actually do something outside of New England. Brandon Cooks finally woke up after he got hit in the Super Bowl against the Eagles. So, he had a Brandon Cooks sighting. So
to be fair about Brandon Cooks, he's still been producing even without whoever he's had the quarterback in Houston. He still had like consistently 1,000 yards. He woke
up because no one has heard from Brandon Cooks since that Super Bowl against the Eagles. So
because he playing in Houston, trust me.
Yeah,
he still had 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
I know.
The fact that you're able to get all of this from David Mills at your quarterback at the helm at QB is says a lot about you as a coach. But if this is a transitional job, we'll see what Houston is going to do, which I don't think is going to be much of anything because, as Sharky said, you're not competing with the Titans. The Colts, they got Carson Wentz, but you're not doing too much with them. And the Jaguars, you may can usurp the Jaguars, but they've been competitive since Urban Meyer got fired. So things will be remain to be seen. So I hope he gets an opportunity somewhere else, but I really don't see that happening. To Savage's point, because of the nature of the beast in the NFL.
Yeah. I mean, Joe Judge got another opportunity until he got fired, but that's neither here nor there. I can talk about somebody else in Cleveland, but I digress. It's a transition, and a transitional job, so to speak, for Houston. And one of the guys that they're looking for is Mr. Coach Brian Flores from the Miami Dolphins, who was let go after winning 7 straight games. And Brother Savage was one to point that out, and they were on their way to possibly making it into the playoffs. Of course, they did not make it, and hence he got fired. This is the same team, to your point, Trevor, we talked about the executive office that got Tua instead of Justin Herbert, and some other key things that they could have done maybe different for that lineup. But then again, this team, 2 seasons of being a team above 500, but yet we fired Brian Flores. Now, honestly, I probably could have understood if they were fired him during the 7-game losing streak. Probably could have had something there. But for him to, again, to your guys' point, turn it around, get into the locker room and speak to those gentlemen and then win 7 straight. I don't care what's going on. You still have to line up your 11 best and go out there and win. Anyone can win a game. Even the Lions were competitive this season on multiple of games. But Brian Flores is one to possibly take this Texans job. But how do you feel about the Dolphins letting him go? And that's now down to 1 African-American coach in a league that is predominantly Black, with over 73% of their athletes looking like us. This time we'll reverse the order. We'll start with our Steelers guy with Trevor, and then go back around Shark, Took, Skyler, and then Savage.
Yeah, so Brian Flores getting fired was really mind-boggling to me. As to your point, Sheedy, the Dolphins, of course, had 2 winning seasons under Brian Flores, and for them to cut ties with them after this season, then it's still mind-boggling. But again, as you said, if they would have fired him during the season, during that 7-game losing streak, or even if the inverse happened, if they started winning 7 straight and then lost 7 straight to close the season, and now you can see that. But I really just don't see it. But I do believe it's more of a Brian Flores and the front office not being on the same page. Because to you guys' credit, and we were just talking about Houston, Brian Flores wanted Deshaun Watson there as their quarterback. And the front office wasn't too fond of that for reasons we will probably never know unless something comes out. And then they also said that they claimed that Brian Flores was not taking the team in the direction that they wanted to go. And I mean, I thought the object of football was to win games. That is a stat right there. Shout out to AP for that. He's the only coach to sweep Bill Belichick in a division in 20 years.
Yeah,
that
and
is
to
crazy.
add on to that point from AP, thank you. He actually had the best winning percentage against Bill Belichick in the last 3 seasons, as opposed to anyone else, knowing that they see them twice a season. So again, Bills, Patriots, you expect them to win the division? Not really, but against the direction, he's the only coach to actually sweep and had the best winning percentage. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. And one last thing, I also felt that the front office, and this is sometimes with the front office just overthinking too much as well. They wanted to put together this high power offense, much to not what was actually out on the field, but what was out on the field was winning games. So, and you're not gonna get. I'm just gonna be honest with you. You're not gonna get a high power offense with Tua at the helm. I'm just gonna be honest with you. But if Brian Flores, of course, is going to be candidate number 1 out there. I hope he doesn't take the Texans job, but if he does, I hope they just give him some kind of free reign, and I hope that their front office can put somewhat of a roster together to give Brian Flores something to work with.
Yep, and to piggyback off AP's point, I think Buffalo swept New England last year, if I'm not mistaken, but we had to double check it. But needless to say, they're still impressed with that. Black coach who's done well, Miami. I think they had back-to-back winning seasons for the first time since like 2004, 2003 or something like that. So
it's good old Ricky. Good old Ricky Williams was there.
And I know, sure they didn't make the playoffs, but for you to start 1-7, win 8 of your last 9, and then one loss come to a Tigers team that's number 1 seed in the AOC, like It just lets you know black coaches are on a short leash. Like AP said earlier, man, they can got 4 years. Joe Judge, they really didn't want to fire Joe Judge, I heard, but I forgot something happened that they just had no choice. It was like, okay, now we're gonna fire you. So it's beautiful, but hopefully Brian Flores, which is ironic, the Texans are interviewing him. So it's like, oh, y'all fired black coach, but y'all hire another one. So it is what it is. The Bears are apparently interviewing Brian Flores too. So he looked like he would more likely get another job, but it's still to the fact that like it's still just a short leash for just black coaches. It's the norm. Unfortunately, it's still sad that Jim Caldwell is still not coaching. Like the Lions had 3 winning seasons out of 4 years with him, and they didn't did anything before him, anything after him. So
real quick to Jim on the point of Jim Caldwell, he's actually about to interview for the Bears job as we speak as a head coach. So let's hope that he can get another opportunity there. So
cool. I think Savage had mentioned something about he was helping Brian Flores and Jim Caldwell team up on the Bears on his last episode. I don't know, sports as well. So be sure to check that show out as well. He dropped it Thursday this week. Dropped it a little late. Threw me off my podcast so line up this week. But yeah, like I said, it is what it is. I don't expect the Dolphins to really be much in the future. So hey, good luck to them. I'm glad they in my conference.
Easy dub, man. Easy dub. So I guess speaking of the Houston, I didn't get a chance to talk about that one real quick. With Houston, you can tell that there was problems when they literally just gave their best player in DeAndre Hopkins away, right? And I think that was like, that was started the fire. And then, you hire a black coach. Of course, your quarterback go through controversy / conspiracy, whatever people want to say about it. He ended up missing the season. So I don't think he definitely should have been fired. And we're going to talk on the short leashes that black coaches, right? Like in Florida, like in Miami, like they had a pretty good team. Like 10-6 last season, they came into it. They had 7 seasons. Exactly. Like the Dolphins were pretty good. Like we actually played them this season, and you know what I'm saying, just like we played everybody else and got our asses kicked. Like they looked like a good team. Like the culture that they were building in Miami was pretty good. Their defense was solid. Y'all know how I feel about Tua, but he did his thing against us, and then he just get fired out of nowhere. And we're gonna talk about the leashes because I'm a fan of a team that's that's giving a coach the biggest leash in the whole NFL right now. And that's Matt Rule. I'm a Carolina Panthers fan for those who don't know. And he came in, our ownership came into the season where, if you look at his pattern, he gets 3 years, his third year, that's when his teams really get going. And I'm just sitting back like, for one, we sucked this season. For two, we didn't do too good last season. So we really expect for a rookie head coach to come in his third season, do what he's supposed to do and get us somewhere, to where now we get one, black coach fired in one season, another black coach fired in another season. And I'm like, we got Eric Bieniemy who's won a Super Bowl, who can't even get a freaking interview. So, the Texans, they suck. The Miami, I don't know what they're doing. They left us with way more questions than answers with this firing. And, that's just the leash and, the thing of being a black coach in the NFL. You got the leash that you can't really do anything. And it just sucks, to be honest with
you. Yeah, this was one firing that just like completely just threw me off guard. Like I just knew that Brian Flores is going to get a third year. Like there was already rumblings, like I think to y'all's point, like early in the season where they just weren't doing well. They were like 1-6 or 1-7 or something like that. And so then you heard rumblings. You're like, okay, I can kind of understand it. But then, like as a leader of men, for you to be able to flip the switch, and then you win your next 7 or you win 8 of 9, like to me, that's okay, cool. He figured out what he was trying to do. Maybe there was injuries, because this was not an easy season at all for anybody. So for an NFL coach to turn the season around like that and then to get fired is absolutely beyond me. I'm pretty sure he's going to find another gig like very, very soon. Brian Flores is one of those coaches, like as a fan of a team in the AFC, like you just kind of knew that like it's going to take him a while before he gets things going. And the only thing that he was missing, well, outside of an offensive line, was a quarterback. I just wish that like they would have done something to get something better in there as a quarterback. I was one of those big like Tua is the guy. Like so I kind of get where they were coming from by picking Tua over Herbert. But when you realize that it's not working, then do something else. Find another quarterback because essentially that's all you need because he coached the hell out of the defense. If nothing else, Miami was going to play defense. And all they needed was a quarterback. I just wish they would have gave him more time.
That's exactly my point, Skylar. If you watched Miami for the past 2 years, especially last year, they had a crazy good defense, and they had arguably the best special teams last year. They kept scoring touchdowns out the wazoo on defense and special teams. And so I think Flores, kind of the mode of Bill Belichick, is like, I got my defense, I got special teams, I just need a quarterback. And Tua was a rookie last year. And so you can't expect a rookie to perform, well. Even looking at like the Patriots this year, they got Mac Jones, who's had an up and down year. Flores is kind of like, you know what? I need a quarterback that can give me stability. Deshaun Watson is available. That's a top 5 quarterback. Let me go get him. And when you're in the market for a quarterback, you're not gonna go for Kirk Cousins and Jimmy Garoppolo. Give me the best that's out there, and that's Deshaun Watson. And so, yeah, I'm not mad at him for wanting to upgrade the position. I know that's why coaches get fired in the first place. That's why Chip Kelly got fired. That's why Doug Peterson got fired. That's why other coaches who had issues with the front office get fired. But they have to have at least evaluated the team and said, you know what, his defense is good. Special teams is top 5 in the league. Let's give him a quarterback and let's see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, what we got to lose? We got Bill Belichick in the division, Buffalo in the division. Let's take a swing and see if we can at least compete. Because right now, they ain't gonna compete with Flores going, in my opinion. So it's messed up, but he is the hottest coaching candidate, and he will get a job somewhere, and he hopefully will get an opportunity to do well and not be placed in another, crappy predicament like Miami. Miami has fired coaches after 3 years, like the past 20 years. Like they had like about 15 coaches since 2000, 2001. So I'm not surprised at them being average or below average, I should say.
I just hope they don't go to Houston.
Please. And I was about to say, just to add on, like, one thing I would like for these teams to do, and no team will ever do this, but own when you mess up, like own when you make a bad pick, and don't put that on the coach. Like, because we're seeing in some of these cases where like general management, like they're making all of the decisions, and sometimes the head coach doesn't get to say so and who he wants as a quarterback or who he wants with the 5th pick. And when the management makes that position and then misses on that pick, and then that's essentially what's costing you from having a really good team or a Super Bowl contending team, like own it. Like, just own it. And that's my thing with the Dolphins. Like, own the fact that you missed on this pick, and that's essentially the only thing that team was missing. Give them another year. Give them another chance. It's so crazy to me.
But also, I have something else. This is another conversation for another day, but they need to give quarterbacks time. Like, Tua in his second year. Like, and you already said, like, hey, this is a missed pick. Like, nah, like, give him some time. But the disadvantage that goes back to y'all point with Brian Flores is he's a black coach. So to his point, he needs a Deshaun Watson in order to keep his job. He can't afford to wait on a rookie quarterback. Yep, they need that too. But yeah, coach can't afford it. So I understand it to that point too.
And if I could add, and then switch gears to college football, the Miami Dolphins passing leader last season wasn't Tua. It was Ryan Fitzpatrick, who is mediocre. Where is he at now? Is he even playing in the league? Who knows?
Fitz magic. He'll get you 3 games. That's about
3 games and about 11 losses. And so you have him, and to the point of the short leash. The short leash is on African Americans throughout the entire league. Justin Herbert gets time and gets an offensive line, got an offensive tackle, got a left tackle that I believe is not just a Pro Bowler, but maybe even an All-Pro within the draft. We didn't give that opportunity to Tua. The leash is just shorter. And even thinking about the coaching candidates, we're not talking about the Tampa Bay coaching staff, who again won 12, 13 games this season. We're not talking about the staff from the Kansas City Chiefs as well. No one's saying anything about them, but Bill O'Brien is getting another opportunity. The same man that traded everything and started this blow up in Houston is getting an interview. I'm just not even saying it's your job. He's getting at least an interview where none of these other coaches that look like us are getting that opportunity. So it's very unfortunate. And hopefully the tide does change. But speaking of the tide changing, let's go ahead and move it over to Trevor. Talk about college football.
I like it. The segue. So this past Monday, the Georgia Bulldogs finally, and I do mean say finally, broke through and won the national championship, defeating the Crimson Tide from Alabama by a score of 33-18. We'll just start going clockwise with Sharky, Tube, Skylar, Savage, then Sheedy. Just want to get you guys' take on the game this past Monday, and what does this mean for the Bulldogs and the Crimson Tide, for that matter, going forward.
So, shout out to Georgia finally beating Alabama. I was a month early on my prediction. I picked them to beat them in the SEC championship. That wasn't the case, but they came back and beat them in the national championship, and I actually picked Alabama to win by the point. So, hey, shout out to Georgia. Alabama is going to make it there almost every year. They're probably going to win more times than not. Just won a few times they lost. So shout out to him. Sorry, Scala. But shout out to my guy, Everett Rashard out there. No, he turned up in the A in Atlanta. So and shout out to Georgia. What it means going forward, not much. They're going to be back there next year. Same two teams. So they're going to be in the back end of the college football playoff running. Alabama will probably be in the playoff. Georgia be in the running. And we'll see. Alabama's already the favorite to win next year, so it ain't much different going forward. We're gonna see them two again.
Of course, it's always fun to see the big dog lose, right? Sorry, Lito, can't wait to hear what you got to say. But as far as Georgia go, congratulations to Georgia. They breaking the curse with the Braves winning and then them winning this year. So as long as the Falcons continue to lose, that's all I really care about. But no, seriously, shout out to the Georgia Bulldogs. Expecting both of them to kind of be in the same position last year. Next year, I'm sorry. Alabama, of course, they still not going anywhere. So like you said, Shark expected them to be in a championship. And, we're going to keep it going. Of course, you win some, lose some, but they'll be back next year. So just remember the guys to my left and the guys to my right are not defined by one podcast. They're defined by the integrity of their heart. So, it's on you, bro. How you feeling?
Oh man, I'm not sure where I'm getting all this Alabama shade. I really don't understand. But
you got the colors on right now. What you mean?
Exactly. Bing bong. Bing bong. For the culture. Come on, man.
But no, I think from a football perspective, like I actually really enjoyed the game. Like I think there were some athletes on both sides of football, Georgia and Alabama. Like there were some absolute that's Savage's favorite word, but it was some dogs on defense. And I think for me, like that's what I wanted to see, like just defenses flying around. Like I know some people aren't like big or fond of games like that, but just for somebody that like prefers really good defense sometimes here and there, I actually enjoyed it. And I just think that like Bryce Young is going to be really legit when he gets in the NFL. Like if you see, like in my honest opinion, like if he would have at least had Jameson Williams or Mechie, like I still think they win that game, because the only difference in the third and fourth quarter is Georgia was making plays and Alabama was just dropping passes, because Bryce Young was still standing in the pocket and absolutely like delivering dimes. So I think, overall good game. I'm happy for Georgia for them actually, finally being able to break through and beat Nick Saban. So I think that's good for them. It's good for recruiting for them, I'm sure. And I think the other thing about it is that I think this pushes back the time of how soon we get an extended playoff. I really think that's what this means.
I don't think so. I used to be like make it bigger, but I don't think so. Just because it's gonna be dominated by the SEC one way or another. But anyway, so yeah, I actually agree with you, Skylar, that if they would have had their main targets playing that game, that Alabama would have won. But y'all know me, I don't do what ifs, I do what is. Georgia came out there and kicked that ass. Nakobe Dean, ladies and gentlemen, that's one of the best linebackers in the NFL draft. Between him and Devin Lloyd. That dude, he's from Horn Lake, by the way. He's a local prospect. Went to Horn Lake High School. He's legit. He is legit. So shout out to Georgia for holding it down. They've been breaking a lot of I like that. But yeah, Georgia, they've been doing the damn thing, man. Now they can get the Hawks turning around and the Falcons to turn around and maybe be doing something, but neither here nor there. I'll pass it along.
Oh yeah, I can't believe we mentioned the Hawks today. But what I will say is this might be, because of that game. First of all, again, kudos to Georgia for winning, and again, we need to give them that. Kirby Smart his flowers as well. for actually breaking that curse of not being able to beat your superior, so to speak, or the teacher and the student. What I do want to say is that this is one of the first seasons I've seen so many Alabama Crimson Tide players say, I'm coming back. Because normally it's like, oh yeah, I'm entering the draft, blah, blah, blah. But they're like, no, we're coming back. They're committed. So yes, I do see why Alabama is coming back. Now, give this 2 or 3 years. But I also think that a team that's going to reemerge back into the college football playoff picture is going to be the Trojans from USC. I believe that Lincoln Riley,
team, by the way.
I think Lincoln Riley and what he did and took some transfer portals over with him that people said they don't want to play there anymore at Oklahoma. But I do believe USC is going to enter this chase as well. But kudos to Georgia. I don't know if they will technically be all the way back in the college football playoff next season, but I think they're going to be a strong, as always, 9 to 10 win team, as they always are in the SEC.
Hey, if this rumor comes true.
Yeah, rumor has it. I was just about to mention that. Rumor has it that they possibly could be getting Caleb Williams.
Because Lincoln Riley said, I'm out, and so does Caleb Williams.
Exactly. 763 yards of total offense between the two teams. When I say that is a great defensive matchup, like you couldn't ask for a better game, man. And to everybody's point, my thing was I was looking at the part where if Stetson Bennett had the opportunity to go win it, could he go and pretty much go and get it? And he actually did so in the second half. And then the pick six that Georgia had pretty much put the icing on the cake. So kudos to Georgia. Kudos to Alabama on a great season. I expect both teams to be back in the hunt next season, possibly matching up in the SEC championship again. So we'll see. Kudos to Georgia.
And before we move on, let's answer. I know AP asked us a couple of questions. So I know early he asked us which was a more attractive job between Houston and New York. So back to the NFL, the Texans or the Giants? Tough question.
That is a tough question.
From a roster perspective, I think it's the Giants. If you ask me, the Giants, I think you can if you can figure one, they need better management off of real, and that's been an issue for them for a while. But I think if you have a good back end your general manager and you can find a quarterback, because their defense isn't bad, you just got to figure out what the heck you're gonna do at quarterback. Once you figure that out, which that's not an easy thing to do, once you figure out who you got at quarterback, I think that's a more attractive job to me.
I'm gonna say Houston. I'm just gonna be honest with you, because you taking that job in New York, you got at least one more season of Daniel Jones. Saquon Barkley is looking like a bust at this point because he can't stay.
They have no money as well. They have no money at all. They spend,
and then they have no money to go get anybody to help make anything. They still haven't addressed the offensive line issues since Eli Manning was there. Yeah, you have Kenny Golladay, who didn't even have a receiving touchdown this season. You had Darius Toney. I mean, Houston, you just need to put a roster together. That's pretty much all that needs to be. You just
if I'm black, don't go to New York. If I'm black, don't go.
Yeah, don't go to New York.
Boom.
Not go to the Giants.
Boom. You literally took the words right out of my mouth.
That's a setup.
Even though they did fire Dave Gettleman finally. Thank the Lord, he shouldn't have been a general manager anyway. But if you're black, stay the hell away from New York. They're in Houston too, but if you black,
honestly, if I had to choose, I would say Houston. Like I would just sit down with the front office and like, look, what are we gonna do as far as putting the roster together? Because New York is just too much in shallow.
Houston, New York, bro. I'll pick ESPN, bro. Like, you know what? Let me get on. Let me get live.
Look, if I'm a young white coach like Matt Rule in Carolina, I'm picking New York though, to be honest with you, because they're gonna give them time. They're gonna give them this next year for all the BS to happen, you know, with Sonic and everything. But yeah,
the rumor is they're getting Doug Peterson though. I'm kind of messed up about that. That's the rumor.
You'll be all
right. Giants. Because you only see them twice a year.
I won't be all right.
The AFC South is the easier division.
Yeah. You get 2 guaranteed. Well, actually, no, I know you don't. You don't guarantee with the Jaguars.
I worry about 2 teams in the AFC South and the AFC East. You really only got to worry about one. Well, I guess the Eagles coming up. I guess the Eagles coming up.
The Eagles want to come up.
Come up, I guess.
Nah, I mean,
they're out of
way, if I could say something about the AFC South, Jacksonville, you should go ahead and get. I don't know why you didn't hire Byron Leftwich for your coach, but that's neither here nor there. But I'll move on.
I'm gonna say the NFC South, to be honest with you. I mean, we ain't doing nothing.
So we was talking about between those 2 divisions, but
gotcha.
Yeah, y'all division. Yeah, they're saying also yes. What do you think about expanding to 16s in college football playoff? It'd be cool. The same team's still gonna make it. In my opinion. I mean, it's still gonna be Alabama.
Maybe 3 years. BCS. Let's go back. BCS. Because the games mean more of the BCS, in my opinion. These games not exciting, man. Like Cincinnati getting rolled, Michigan getting rolled.
Hey, Cincinnati play better than Michigan now. Again,
I just give me Alabama straight to the championship, and whoever they're gonna play, let's just rock and roll from there. It can be Ohio State. It just BCS me, man. I can't do the CFP no more.
I be trying to tell these people about the SEC, man. It's nothing to play. It's nothing to play with.
I say honestly, in my opinion, I say extend even more and make it a bigger playoff. Because in my opinion, I don't know if it's just me, but other bowl games were like blah to me. I didn't really care for any other bowl game, and it's like let's make this a big playoff.
The only other bowl game that was like remotely exciting was Tennessee Purdue. I'm just gonna be honest with you, and Tennessee got screwed. So
yeah, I would. Okay, just I think expanding it would help in regards to more of those players would actually play in those games. A lot of these great players are sitting out because of their draft stock. So I think possibly, I don't know if 6 or if 8's the number. I think 8 is a cap. I think 6 is a decent number. Then you got to decide who is 1 and 2 to possibly get buys like it is in NFL. But I think 8 will keep those great players to play. Like a lot of players sat out. Ohio State, for instance, we had our 2 best wide receivers sit out. Thankfully, we beat the Utes. But again, if this was more in the BCS, well, in the 8-game playoff, Olave is not sitting out. He's playing. Exactly. Wilson's not sitting out. He's playing. Exactly. And I actually think expanding, again, to the money point, money cometh because of that. And I think it could actually bring more better games. But yeah, again, it's going to be the tide that rolls around, and who's going to play the tide. But at least we get more games.
And to the point Mike just said, it's not going to help like the other companies. Stafford said earlier, man, SEC is still going to dominate. So, I mean, either way it go, even the BCS, Georgia probably wouldn't play after losing Alabama SEC Championship. They probably wouldn't play National Championship if it was BCS format. So, we saw Alabama whoop up on Michigan in the championship. So, we got the best outcome with this one, in my opinion.
I mean, whooped them.
He said go to 8 Power 5 conference champion, high rank, you 5 to fill out. Yeah.
I'm either BCS or that. That's what I'm cool with. BCS, like either BCS everybody get a chance or do BCS. Because like this in between is not gonna run it.
Dang, that's right. Why you stay one off like that?
They did, but they still won. 48-45.
Hey. All right, Took. Let's go ahead and take the bummer side of this podcast.
Yeah, y'all got it, man. Because I'm gonna stay with the positive energy. But for those who don't know, we are from Memphis. Of course, we got to show love to our Memphis Tigers, even though sometimes they don't deserve it. So what up, bro? So at the beginning of the season, of course, we came in a top 10 team. Decline came. We end up losing to, I would say, by like 19-20 or something like that. Then, you know what I'm saying, after that, a 4-game losing streak happened. Then we actually came back and beat Alabama, a top 10 team at the time. Then the UT game was canceled out of nowhere due to COVID protocols. So we've been having to deal with that, and now we sit at 9-6. For the month we're 3-1, but we just took a L. So, gentlemen, starting at Skylar, how do y'all feel about the Tiger season so far?
It's not enough liquor in the world that can save me and my feelings for how I feel about this season. To your point too, like I think we all kind of came into the season like knowing, or not knowing, but at least with the hype or with the understanding that I think we would at least at minimum finish maybe going to at least the Elite Eight or something like that. Like it's been so many things like hit and miss as far as the season is concerned. I mean, I don't even know like how to even attack that question. Like I really don't. It's been as good as we before the loss early this week. Like we won 3 or 4 straight. But before that, we lost like 4 straight. So it's just like everything from, in my opinion, Penny not realizing or helping his team to figure out who they are. I think that's the biggest thing for me. I don't think they know who they are. The reason I think for them not knowing who they are is because I believe almost every game this season, he's had a different starting five. He's had a different starting five for pretty much every single game of the season. And in my opinion, that doesn't help anybody. That's not going to help guys that are new to the program, that are new to the roster, new to the offense that you're running. Like it's not fair to them. It's the constant subbing. Like that's the other thing it's some people have been out with COVID. It's a lot. I really don't even know like how to answer this particular question, but I'm hoping that they can at least get things together. I know they took the loss to Cincinnati, but I still think they can turn things around. I'll say that. So I'm just going to hope that they get players back. DeAndre Williams has been out.
I mean, UCF,
I'm sorry. DeAndre Williams, I think, will be back soon. They also don't know who the hell is playing point guard. I don't know. I just hope that I think they'll essentially get to the tournament. I'm still holding out belief on that, but we'll see.
So this for everybody too. Start us off, leader, on a scale of 1 to 10. What do you rank the Tigers so far this season? Don't worry, everybody have to answer.
A 5, I guess. I don't know. It's a 5.
Savage.
Okay. So, all right, I've oddly been the positive person when it comes to the Memphis Tigers. My mental health with this team is in a great place because I understand exactly what's going on. So I said it on IDK, we cannot properly evaluate Anthony Hardaway until Alex Lomax is no longer here. Why is Alex Lomax here? Because they originally had James Wiseman. He was a package deal with James Wiseman, and this is Penny Hardaway doing what he has to do to pay tribute to the guy that he essentially raised from like elementary, middle school, all the way to now. I said it weeks ago. I was like, y'all, Alex Lomax is going to start. When he gets healthy, that man is going to start. He's going to start. So just go ahead and deal with it, accept it, move on, get it out of your memory banks. So where would I rank this team? Or you mean the team or Penny Hardaway?
The team.
Okay. I'm gonna agree and say about 5 because I mean, quiet as kept, y'all. The American Conference is actually a good conference. Like this conference is not bad for basketball teams. They had 3 teams in the conference last year, in the tournament last year. But I mean, the team is discombobulated. They're constantly bringing in, like Skylar said, new lineups. We don't have continuity. I said on LBR maybe 2 years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I can't remember, 2 years ago, that Penny needs to develop the program like Villanova. Get some people that are going to be here for a long time, which he has. But now what the gift and the curse of bringing in the number 1 recruiting class is that when you bring in the top prospects, they got to play. And so Penny, again, needs to do some reevaluation of his recruiting process. We thought that Imani Bates was going to be that dude in terms of like being like a tall point guard, a tall point guard type of player. And he cannot dribble. He can't really play make. He did a little bit better in the previous games, but he's not a point guard. Earl Timberlake was hurt last game, if I'm not mistaken, he had a concussion. And so he didn't get to play against UCF. So you basically were without a point guard. Putting Tyler Harris at point guard is like putting Steph Curry at point guard without Draymond Green on the floor. He's not a point guard. He's an off-ball scorer that can handle the ball, but he's not a point guard because you're basically tiring him out from having to shoot the ball. So where I'm at, like, look, y'all, I said it weeks ago, this team not making the tournament unless they win the tournament. So I could be at risk of running 5 suicides because that's what I said they'll do. But talk to me in March when the team is in the tournament and they're struggling. Right now, they lose. I'm like, okay, it happens. They're an inconsistent team. They can beat Alabama 1 week and then lose to Tulane the next week. So everybody, Tiger Nation, calm down. Accept what it is. and then move on. I'll see y'all in the conference tournament.
All right. I'll start this. A 3. The rating is a 3. And let me explain this really quickly. My team, I coach JV boys. We played in a week's time. We played a team who had a JV player that went on a fast break between the legs dunk. Swear to God, I knew we were going to lose. Cool. Another team came out the next day on Friday, my fault. And this team came in, had mullets, had a fat dude. I was like, oh, man, we're going to play with these guys. They beat us worse than a team that had the between the legs dunk player that was dunking. What I'm getting at is you can have all the talent in the world, but if you are fundamentally sound in coaching your gentlemen or ladies, then you have got to sit down as a coach. I cannot believe that this Memphis Tigers team, with the talent of the roster that they have, is not a top, I'll give you top 15 in the nation. They are not. I am not afraid of, other teams are not afraid to play this team, and they should be because of the talent that they have. But instead of that, you have a group of black guys together that are banded together, and sometimes they play okay, sometimes they don't. I heard the American Conference had 3 teams in the conference or in the round. Great. But I don't know if the Tigers are going to make it this year. And legitimately what it takes is you don't have to be the best team all the time. What I always tell players is you just have to be the best for 40 minutes. That's it. And to be the best for 40 minutes, I don't see the hustle from the Tigers. I don't see the grit, the grind, so to speak, that the Grizzlies have that doesn't transcend down to the Tigers. I don't see the heart of this Memphis Tigers team. But what I see is Anthony Hardaway, and I see someone behind him that can coach better than him, but maybe not recruit as well as he is. I've always said that Penny Hardaway can recruit his ass off, but Larry Brown should possibly, I saw someone say that earlier, should possibly get a little more of a crack at coaching these gentlemen to see. I mean, he took SMU where, right? Like, nobody was expecting SMU to do as well as they did until Larry Brown got to the helm. So give Larry a chance, I would assume. I hear the Alex Lomax thing. You're right, because he loves Alex Lomax like his son, I guess. But, I mean, come on, man. Like, even if he starts, doesn't mean he has to play as many minutes as he's been playing and stinking up the court. So you got this talent, but the talent ain't going nowhere. So give me a 3.
And stop turning the ball over. Sorry, I meant to say that earlier. Jesus.
Well, it's kind of difficult to not turn the ball over when you don't have a floor general on the floor. So I'm also gonna go with a 3, and I'm just blaming all parties involved here. Penny's inability to coach got this team looking like an AAU team out there. Of course, Savage already said about Alex Lomax. We won't know anything about Penny coaching until Alex Lomax is gone. I don't know what he did with Imani Bates gassing his head up, because Imani Bates came into this joint thinking he was finna do everything that he was doing in high school and college, and that just wasn't the case, because he get knocked around out there. Folks are just putting their body on him, and he's just like looking like trash. And then so I had a conversation with some folks about that the other day, and they was like, well, what's he going to do when he goes to Ignite? Well, when he goes to play for G League Ignite, they finna knock his butt around too. So if he can't handle it in college,
playing like that, he's gonna be on the bench.
Yeah, exactly. If you can't handle it in college, you damn sure ain't finna have this shit playing for G League Ignite. Skyler, you got something? Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I just have to push back. Like, that's in my opinion, some of that's on Penny. Like, I feel like as a coach, when you have talent as Jalen and Imani, you need to put them in spaces to where they can succeed, get easy baskets. And that's my thing. Like, how many times do we see like Imani Bates getting like wide open layups at the rim, or like Jalen getting like easy, like Jalen should be getting like 15, 20 touches a game, in my honest opinion. And I think some of that is on them. So before, I hear what you're saying, and Imani has not played well. Agreed. But before we call him trash, or before we talk about some of these players, some of this has to go back on Penny. Like, they are not being put in the right situations to not turn the ball over 22 times a game. That is some of the, I'm sorry, that is some of that is on the coaching, bro. That is a lot of the coaching.
I agree with that for sure about Imani, because I said we went to the game, Scott. I said Imani is a catch and shoot player. He does not need to dribble the ball at all. Stop that mess. Like every time he dribbles the ball, he falls down, the ball goes out of bounds, or he throws up in the air, turnover. Like no, put that man in the corner or put him off the bench. Like Trevor mentioned, I can't see him going G League next year. He better not go. He needs some home.
I think
he needs to sit down for a year or two. He might need to go 3 years in college. He's 17 years old right now. He'll be gone by 19, 20. That's still enough time to get some tick in the league. But coaching for sure with Imani Bates, like that has been a failure in my opinion. That's been the biggest failure. Not even Duran, Skyler, because Duran has shown he's an NBA player. He gone next year. He gone. Imani Bates. That's a coaching failure in my opinion.
We may be getting year 2, year 3 Money Bates at this point. But yeah, in the end, man, I'm gonna give this team a 3. I don't see them making it in the tournament because they still haven't played Houston yet. Houston is looking like a juggernaut. And to Savage's point, the AAC is actually pretty good. 3 teams in the tournament last season. I think Houston made the Final Four last season. So yeah. So yeah, 3. I don't even think they'll be in the NIT. They'll be in the college basketball invitational this year. That's I don't even think they'll have a chance to defend their title.
Jeez.
That's how bad this Tigers team is looking.
Stay patient, my brother. Stay patient. It's just patient. See y'all.
Is this one of those Brian Flores moments? Is that what you're trying to say, Savage?
Just be patient. Is all I'm saying. Be patient.
No, I hopefully Penny don't get fired.
In the words of Aaron Rodgers, relax.
There you go.
I'm definitely capping though, but relax. I'm telling y'all to relax, but I'm capping like a mug. Cause give me a 3 for how I feel about this team right now. I went to that Tulsa game, man, and we ended up winning by 1. And we ended up winning, right? Bruh. I left the game like, man, how do Skyler go to this and watch these folks turn the ball over 25 times every single game?
It's an AAU game, man.
I watched them in TV. Like, why am I still watching this?
Oh, Sharky, quick question. So we're going to see Mikey tonight, right? Would this be a better game tonight, or the Tigers have a better game?
I think tonight. I think tonight, man. But consistency is key. We say this all the time in this podcast, right? That's why I'm giving them 3. 5 is giving them almost somewhat of consistency in some form fashion. These folks got no consistency. And it comes down to point guard. Penny, and I didn't think coming to the season it would matter that to this extent, but you need a point guard in college. And I thought Alo, with all the talent around him, it would work. In his senior year, I thought he would have gotten somewhat, better. He's better coming off the bench. He's going to play, like y'all said, like Savage said, he's going to play. So when he's come off the bench, he's gave some type of spark and at different times, right? Started, no. Imani started, no. But the problem is you got no point guard because Earl Timberlake ain't a point guard. Tyler Harris is the point guard. Like you had no point guard. He let the point guard go to Tennessee. Kennedy Chandler has struggled recently lately because I hate watching Tennessee right now too in their offense, but he's still a point guard.
He still would have been much better than option than what we got.
He's still good. I think he'll turn around.
That's why the rivalry. That's why the rivalry is so good. The Tigers look like an AAU team that plays at Mount Moriah, and Tennessee looks like a church league. So hey, that's why the rivalry is so great.
And I think there's more deal with coaching again. I think it's more deal with Rick Barnes. Yeah. But to the point, he let him go because he wanted to protect Halo. There you go. That's the season right there. I said coming to this season after last season, they can't continue to start off slow. They can't continue to start off slow and get it rolling in February. Like, you're never going to make the tournament doing it. Like, you got to get some type of rotation. Why is Josh Might not barely playing early in the season? Like, we saw talent when he played, but you want to play.
That man needs to be in.
John Camden ain't even came off the freaking bench. I don't understand how John Camden has not even played a single minute.
Is he red-shirted or they didn't red-shirt him?
I thought Camden was hurt.
I don't think he's hurt.
I think he's hurt.
He had a boot on at one point, but I've seen him.
Chandler Lawson hurt. That's who's hurt. Yeah, Chandler Lawson.
Chandler Lawson's hurt.
Wow. So, I mean, at this point, hopefully he does get a red shirt. But it goes back to that. Like, you playing 12, 13 guys. You playing the wrong lineups. I don't know. I like what my guy Mike said, starting basically the 4 and during the 5. That would help some, but when we're down to it, they still don't have an actual point guard. I just don't see a team without a point guard. Because even last year, we want to run Boogie Ellis, who's doing great this year at USC, by the way, got it rolling. So, without a point guard, especially in college, you need a point guard. And this team without a point guard, I just don't see it. They would have to win the conference tournament. And I dispute what Savage said about AAC being good. Memphis with this talent, the AAC ain't supposed to be competitive with Memphis. They're just untrue.
I agree.
Houston missing their 2 best players and still looking better than Memphis. I saw them the other night, and they don't look.
Houston has consistency with their lineups though. Like they,
yep,
yeah,
and coaching because Kevin Samuels that's a Hall of Fame level coach. Like yeah.
So honestly, coming out of the season, they got to win the conference. They're going to have to win the conference tournament. I ain't gonna say at this point they're still on the bubble. They're still like in the last 4 out range, but it's
a lot of teams losing this year. A lot of teams are losing games. So
it's ugly, man. It's very ugly. Penny, I know a lot of people saying like fire Penny. He's gonna get another year, and hopefully A-Lo is not back because A-Lo does have the COVID.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he can come back another year.
Mm-hmm.
He could be a coach. He could be a coach, man.
Bro needs to be a student coach, a graduate assistant, or something like that.
There you go. Trey did it. My Drakus did it. Like, keep it moving.
So Sam, I knew is red. He's redshirted. Him and John.
I just want to see private school shooters, man. Like, it's like, come on, man. Every AAU team needs one.
Brian Press, St. George. We need shooters.
Answer Mike's question. Yeah, Timberlake. He's done pretty well. Once again, you don't have a
He's
point
a jack
guard.
of all trades, master of none. He can't really do anything good.
Right.
Well, great.
He's been decent. He's had moments. Ken needs play definitely. So
I agree. I've been saying that for almost 2 years, dog. We need private school shooters. I've been saying that.
I do think it's gonna be like if it does come down to like Penny and that, I think it would be a forced resign. I don't think they'll be a straight fire. I think it'll be like
the only thing about Penny.
Yeah.
Only thing about Penny, they're not gonna do new administration because we have a new president coming in May. They're gonna keep him at least for I want to say a year or two.
Yeah,
they're gonna keep him for a year or two just to see if new administration, new thoughts and everything is gonna help. And then by like the 2-year mark of Dr. Hargrave, they probably say, "All right, man, like look, we're going a different direction."
And
also, go ahead, sorry.
Also, another point, I ain't comparing John Calipari, but John Calipari, when he was at Memphis, his first 4 or 5 years, they did the same thing. Won NIT with he had Juwan Wagner, Chris Massey, Darius Washington Spurts his freshman year. Like they had some disappointing seasons, just like Memphis now. So I think Penny would definitely get another year, for sure.
And I'll say this: like for breaking news, I don't think Penny Hardaway going anywhere for at minimum another 2 years. Because look at the attendance at the Forum.
Yeah,
look at the attendance at the Forum, bro. He ain't packing it out, but damn it, it's damn near there. If nothing else, Tubby wasn't able to do that. Tubby could at least be able to coach a little bit, but he would get people in the FedEx Forum.
Exactly, Ryan. Exactly.
That's the beat in Memphis, man. You gonna get some hood dudes playing ball. Sean Williams, man, it's hood.
Is Mount Moriah versus Bellevue Church? That's Memphis versus UT.
That man really just brought back that hooping versus the ball player debate back into handy. Like we know the difference between a hooper versus a basketball player.
Yeah, he can't recruit though, and he can't.
That was the only problem. He can't recruit.
He didn't care to recruit. He tried to act like Memphis had no top talent too.
Well, shoot, I'm pretty sure we're going to talk a lot more about the Memphis Tigers basketball team, who may or may not make the tournament. But let's get into some teams that actually did make the tournament.
Nice segue. All right, gentlemen, it's Super Wild Card Weekend. If I'm not mistaken, everybody's team except Tevin's made the tournament, man. I thought it was positive vibes, but whatever. Maybe next year for the Carolina Panthers. So we got 6 games on the schedule.
Man, you ran away from your team, bro. The Eagles ain't your team this season. Get out of here.
As I was saying,
you a Raiders fan. The Raiders made it.
You was a Raiders, Ravens, Cleveland,
the Raiders made it too.
Oakland, Vegas, wherever the hell they at.
Right now.
Information has changed
right now from the Eagles and the Raiders.
Thank you, Shady.
That man getting 4 different paychecks from 4 different teams this season. I ain't no way in hell.
Shit, must be nice. Only one paycheck.
And as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted by somebody who's outside of the club. The first game,
You can't get in, huh?
Wow, referee.
Look
Look at us, man.
I'm gonna remember this. I'm gonna remember this. I'm gonna remember this.
First game today, we got Las Vegas Raiders, not my Las Vegas Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders.
What?
Against the Cincinnati Bengals. Gentlemen, who you got? We're gonna go from Shark, Tevin, Skylar, Trevor, Sheedy, and I'll end it off. Who y'all got win that game and why? Let's be quick.
Everybody said not my Las Vegas Raiders, but go off, man. Give me the Raiders. Give me the Raiders to upset the Bengals. Bengals. I say, well, I predict this on Let's Tighten Up. Give me the Raiders. They're hot right now. The Bengals. I'm not sure. You know, Max Crosby has the most pressures in the NFL this season, and Joe Burrow has the most sacks in the NFL this season. They're still a young team. Typically, young teams are, I ain't gonna say normally one and done, but they're normally 1 or 2 and done in the playoffs. So give me the Raiders to pull off the upsets. And I need that Raiders Titans matchup for John Martin purposes on 929.
Okay.
I'm actually go Raiders as well. I actually thought the Raiders would have had a much better season than 10-7, but you know they made the playoffs, and I don't expect them to lose in the first round against a young team in the Bengals. So give me the Raiders.
I'm actually going to go with the Bengals for the simple fact that I think the Raiders, that game was emotionally draining, physically draining. I'm pretty sure. I think between the Chargers and the Raiders, like defensively, they both played well over 100 snaps. I just think that's a lot, and they come in essentially a short week because I think they played last Sunday, and here they are playing on Saturday. So I'm going to go with the Bengals just for the simple fact that Joe Burrow is legit, and as well as his receivers are too. I think they make a couple more plays than the Raiders do.
Last time I checked in playoff time, it's all about the trenches, and the Bengals still don't have an offensive line that can protect Joe Burrow. Give me the Raiders.
Last time I checked, the only team from Ohio was the Bengals, which is crazy. But Waller's coming back, and he killed the Bengals last time. And I see that happening again, and it happened in Cincinnati. So give me the Raiders on this one. And I remember this season, they started out with a different head coach, and some of us thought they wouldn't make even the playoffs. And here they are, not even making the playoffs, but possibly even winning this game and going on to the next round.
Shout out to Derek Carr for that. Coach too, but Derek Carr has played his ass off.
Yeah, people forget Derek Carr was an MVP candidate a couple of years ago before he got hurt. He was balling there 1 year. But I'm gonna go with the Bengals. I just feel like it's time, man. It's been a long time for the Bengals since their last playoff win. It's time. Give me Joey B and the Cincinnati Bengals. Next game tonight, you got the Patriots versus the Bills in Buffalo. It's gonna be cold as hell up there. Who y'all got winning? Same order.
So I predicted this, and Let's Tighten Up. And information has changed. It changed on our spaces, Twitter spaces on Thursday night when I found out some information about how cold it was gonna be. -1 degrees in the game. Last time I checked, the Bills can't run the ball, and you got to be able to run the ball when it's cold outside. Last time they played when it was cold outside against the Patriots, y'all saw what happened. So give me the Patriots for the upset because of the weather purposes. Before I had the Bills because of their defense, and I thought Mac Jones would make a mistake, but they got to be able to run the ball, and they can't. So give me the Patriots.
I didn't know that it was going to be that cold because I actually would have had the Bills winning, but -1 and literally no running game whatsoever. Belichick going to eat that alive, so give me the Patriots.
I'm going to go with the Bills, hoping that they run the ball with quarterback name just left my mind. Josh Allen, yes. They should run the ball with Josh Allen, in my opinion. Yes, you don't have a running back to give the ball to, but I think to throw the Patriots off, let him be in the shotgun, let him do like some type of action where either he gets to keep the ball or he gets to throw the ball. But I think that's what they should do. Run the ball with Josh Allen. That gets them to the dub. So give me the Bills.
You underestimating Bill Belichick.
Here's the thing. No, he's not, because Tom Brady, Cam Newton used to always be Bill Belichick, right? And that's literally the only reason why, is because a dual threat. Josh Allen is gonna have to dual threat his way to be Bill Belichick. Otherwise, he's gonna eat that alive.
I honestly think Belichick has a plan to stop Josh Allen from running. And I think that Patriots defense makes more plays than the Bills do. And Buffalo can't run the ball. So give me the Patriots.
it's not even that Buffalo can't run the ball that I completely agree with. They also can't stop the run against the Patriots. The Patriots put up over 360 yards in 2 games. Are you kidding me? I don't think much has changed. That information has not changed. So actually give me Bill Belichick in the code. Now, if the Bills escape, great, but give me the Bills. I mean, the Patriots.
You meant Bill Belichick. That's what you meant.
Yeah.
Man, y'all low-key have persuaded me because I forgot Buffalo can't run the ball, and the Patriots, I mean, that's all they got to do because Matt Jones had a game where he threw the ball like, 3 times, something like that. Then you got Ramondre Stevenson, you got Damian Harris, who I had in fantasy, who is like a beast. But for some reason, I just feel like Buffalo's going to win. I feel like Buffalo's going to find a way to win this game, and they're going to move on to the next round. I might look stupid, but give me Buffalo Bills to win that one. Next game is my Philadelphia Eagles. That's my team, my only team that I have that I'm prepared for. Eagles are going to go down Tampa Bay, where it's supposed to be a very bad rain all game with 20-mile-an-hour winds. We're going to go reverse order this time, so I'll go first. Give me my team, man. I feel like we got all our running backs healthy. We took a week off, and last time we played the Buccaneers, we actually almost won the game. So give me the Eagles in a tight game. It's going to be ugly, but give me Philadelphia.
Yeah, y'all did take the week off last week. I can't remember what team beat y'all, but y'all did take that
I don't know
week
either,
off.
man. I forget.
Me neither. But to your point, again, weather is playing a factor in a lot of these games, and the NFC is going to go through Green Bay, which we'll get to later on. But to me, I think if there was a running game last time against the Buccaneers, that would have been a different situation with the Eagles. So this time the running game is intact, and I got the Eagles also winning this game as a surprise. NFCs, why not?
I think this game is going to be a lot closer to what people put off on. I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles won this game because of their rushing attack. I think Tampa Bay pulls this off, but they escape. So give me Tampa Bay by 3.
Same. I respect the Eagles in a lot for the simple fact that they know who they are. Like Jalen Hurts is not that good of a quarterback, but I think they do what they can with him to make him at least, perceive that he's somewhat good. So they run the ball well, and I think the Eagles should be very versatile in how they run the ball. And I think because they'll be able to do that, I think Jalen Hurts makes an interception or a fumble to give Tampa Bay the win because Tampa Bay's defense is starting to come back, starting to round into form. So I think Tampa Bay, to Trevor's point, I think they escape just barely by 3.
I can't see the GOAT winning a Super Bowl and coming back and losing in the first round. So that's literally one of the only reasons why I have the Bucs winning. So give me the Bucs.
The worst part about this game is the Bucs stopped the run. The Eagles, y'all hear me now? Yeah, the Eagles' strength is the Bucs' strength. They run the ball well. The Bucs stop the run. The Eagles' weakness is the Bucs' weakness. They don't really throw the ball down the field well, but the Bucs don't defend the pass well. So I think this game would be closer. Did y'all play early? Y'all played earlier this season,
like week 5, yeah.
Yeah, in the Bucs. Was it a blowout?
28-25.
No, so it was close. I think y'all made like a comeback or something.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be more along those lines where it's gonna be close, but then the Bucs, Tom Brady's just gonna find a way. I know he don't have the wide receiver outside of Mike Evans. He still got Gronk. It's Tom Brady at home against the Eagles, against Jalen Hurts. I just can't see the Eagles pulling it off, but I do think it's gonna be a closer game than probably a lot of people are thinking.
Okay. If I'm not mistaken, there's only one team in the NFL that has a winning record against Tom Brady in the playoffs. I think it's Denver is 4-1 against Tom Brady in the playoffs. If we win this game, we'll be one of the 2 teams with a winning record against Tom Brady. So just want to throw that out there. Next game, we got, I think it's probably the best game of the weekend. You got 49ers versus Cowboys. We're going to do the same reverse order, and I'll go first. I have a strange feeling about the Dallas Cowboys. Like, some is not quite right. The game last week did not matter at all. Now, that might have helped them, I think, in improving their confidence and getting some cohesion on offense because they've been struggling lately. But I think the 49ers are the more physically imposing team on both sides of the ball. So I'm going to take the 49ers to beat the Cowboys.
Man, Savage, I was rocking with your last pick, but I mean,
Sorry, man.
This is what it is, right? An injury that hurts the Cowboys is Keanu Neal not being out, who is a pretty good. We need someone to cover Kittle coming up and at least forcing them to make a bad, decision or so to speak. But this is legitimately, I hate to say this, but like a do or die game for the Cowboys and Dak Prescott. I said this earlier this week that Dak has the most pressure. He has to win this game. The Cowboys have to win this game. So with all that pressure, I believe the Cowboys do win this game. I believe it's going to be one of those games where we may take the lead, but then let them come on back, as we always do. We never really truly blow out teams. Besides, I think maybe last week. I can't remember that game, though. But give me Cowboys to win this game, though.
For reasons that Savage just mentioned, I'm going to take the 49ers.
This is the one game that I've actually not been able to pick yet. I've been going back and forth because this is, in my honest opinion, I think the Cowboys should win this game. If we're being honest, I think because the Cowboys are so good at receiver and the 49ers are not good in the secondary. I think, if Cowboys played their part right and they were balanced on offense, I honestly think the Cowboys should win. But I just don't trust them to do that. So I'm going to go with the 49ers. I think somebody mentioned that the 49ers use a lot of pre-motion in their run game, and the Cowboys struggle with it. And Deebo Samuel is a problem. He kicked my ass in fantasy every time I went up against him. And I just don't know if the Cowboys have an answer for him and the 49ers run game. So give me 49ers in a really, really close one, though.
I'm gonna actually go with the Cowboys. I don't know why.
What are we doing? Hold on.
Don't ask me why, but Sheedy hit it right on the head when they asked the question, what quarterback has the most pressure on him, right? And I think it is Dak Prescott. I think he realizes that early in the season, they were arguably, especially when they beat us, they were arguably the best team in the NFL, right? And I know they got some chemistry issues on offense, but I think with Dak realizing the pressure that he has on him for them to succeed, especially in this first round against a 49ers team who's still trying to figure out who they are, they got to win this one. They got to win this one. So I'm going to ride out with the homie Sheedy, man. Give me the Cowboys.
I think this would be the best game this weekend. I chose the 49ers, and I'm going to stick with them for the reasons that my guy Mike said about the motion. I think the Cowboys give up 6 yards of rush to motion run plays. That's a lot of rushing yards and per rush, and that's a team that uses motion almost all their running plays. The key to this game, I need the Cowboys. Key to this game, I think it's almost every game. It's turnovers. The 49ers are undefeated when Jimmy G does turn the ball over. He got to avoid what's the cornerback's name? Diggs. Trayvon Diggs.
All pro Diggs.
Yes, he got to avoid him at all costs.
Does he though?
Does he? Does he
though?
But on the same side,
he's either getting a pick or he's getting burnt. So it's still highly extremes with him. He's either gonna get a pick or he's gonna get burnt.
But on the opposite side, like my guy Mike said, the 49ers pass rush is coming out the deck, and it's really gonna come down to the running game. I don't know, Tony Pollard. I see he's close to 100% as Cowboys find injury report rules. Okay, so he might be playing. That's gonna be the key to Dallas. But give me the 49ers to squeak this one out in the end.
All right. Next game. Oh, what do we have here? The Pittsburgh Steelers actually made the playoffs with a winning record. Y'all saw my name today. Extend Mike Tomlin. Do not fire this man. He is the only remaining black coach in the NFL right now where the Rooney Room comes from. So don't listen to Skyler, y'all. Listen to me. I am the voice of reason when it comes to the Pittsburgh Steelers and Mike Tomlin. All right, anyway, Pittsburgh Steelers, we got them against the Kansas City Chiefs. We're going to go back in the original order from Sharky to me. Sharky, go ahead and start us off. Who win this game?
So, which this Steelers. So, I mean, give me the Chiefs. But I think similar to I said about the other what game I said it'll be closer than we think, the Eagles and Bucks. I think this game, I think it will start off closer, right? I think they won't just fall at. I think they fell down 30-0. That was a couple weeks ago in Kansas City. So I think starting off, that pass rush, TJ Watt is going to make it a mission to get to Pat Mahomes, and they might force a couple turnovers and get in field goal position to kick a field goal like they did against us. But ultimately, I just think Pittsburgh ain't gonna score enough, and I think eventually the Chiefs will run away with it. So I think they end up winning by double digits, but I think it'll be like a it's close. It's a single-digit game going to the fourth quarter, and then eventually, Pittsburgh not being able to score is just gonna hurt them. And Chiefs win by double-digit, 14, I guess 10, 14 points, something along those lines.
It's on you, Ted.
Oh, my bad. My bad. The Steelers, look, the Steelers don't even think that they're gonna win, so why should I pick the Steelers? Give me the Chiefs, man. Patty Mahomes is trying to turn back up, man. But give me the Steelers. Shout out to Big Ben for a great career, but unfortunately, he has to end tonight. So give me the Bills. Give me Mahomes.
Yeah, you gotta chill, man.
Come on, dog. Hey, vibes.
Let me clear the air really quickly before I make my pick. I have not said fire Mike Tomlin. I said I would consider a coaching change. As I've always said that for the simple fact.
Like the same tomato.
Hey, this is
tomato.
Words. All right, Stafford.
That's not the same thing. But I definitely understand, Mike Tomlin, what he's done for the Steelers, like in the regular season, but it's what he's done in the postseason the past two times. They've shown up is why I'm such a I would at least consider it. The past two postseason games the Steelers have been in, they've given up 63 points in the first half. 63 points in the first half. If your job is if I hire you to be a defensive coordinator, or that's your niche, 63 first half points in two playoff games is absolutely absurd. I'm picking Kansas City because the Steelers have zero offense, in my opinion. Ben Roethlisberger is going to throw 2-yard routes all game, so I don't expect us to win. I just would like for us to show up. Just show up and see what just see what the game is like. That's all I got to say. Hating on Mike Tomlin? Nah. Just don't give up 63 points in two playoff games in the first half.
Come on, Trevor.
I will gladly be wrong with this. I will have my Hennessy on the side.
You ain't about that life.
27-24 Steelers.
I'm being trolled on my own.
Everybody can't beat me. Everybody can't beat me. You remember last year, Titans? I picked the Ravens to beat us in the playoff game. Everybody can't beat me. I understand.
I don't know how.
Get you a nice little bottle, Trevor. Get you a nice bottle, man.
Some's telling me the Steelers are going to win this game. It's going to be close. Boswell wins it at the end. 27-24 Steelers. I will gladly be wrong. I will take my shots afterwards because I know I'm probably going to have a heart attack throughout this game. But I don't know. It's like I said, it's a toxic marriage between me and the Steelers. This 2021 Steelers. 27-24 Steelers. I'm doing it.
Hey, Mike, that's his team. He's a Steelers fan. That's his team. Last two people are Steelers fans. But he's a Steelers fan.
Yeah, and
I don't know how. I've watched this team all season. We've won games we weren't supposed to win, i.e. the Titans, i.e. the Bills. Somehow, some way. 27-24 Steelers. I'm doing it.
I don't want to go say that, Brian.
You know what it is, Trevor. I feel you. If Martin Luther King Day is coming up, you have a dream like Martin Luther King. So I hear it. But let me go ahead and deflate that dream and make it more of a nightmare. I think Melvin Ingram is going to do something crazy during this game as well. And so give me the Chiefs. And I know the running back for the Chiefs isn't playing, I think is out, but you don't need that with Patty Mahomes at the helm, and it's Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce.
Still can't stop the run anyway, so it don't even matter.
Hey, I need y'all to clock out, man.
Hey, he been on.
Hey, shout out to him, man. He definitely been on episode.
Yeah, shout out.
Shout out to him.
Check out his podcast too, man. Touring AFC South. I was on his show last week, so yeah, check out my guy.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
So part of me wants to troll Skylar and pick Pittsburgh. I personally cannot do that.
I will block your number from my phone. I promise. I will do it right
Chris, stop it.
Troll Skylar, but my podcasting mind will not allow that. So I'm gonna pick the Chiefs. But Lord, if the Pittsburgh Steelers win, I will be insufferable. Like, Skyler. Ooh.
And you know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. This is gonna be a really close game. Now that I'm being trolled this much, and the Steelers are gonna do the same thing. They're gonna troll me, and the game is going to be close. And it's gonna come down to the very end. I feel like
so, Skyler, real quick. What were your emotions on Sunday during that game, the Chargers and Raiders game? What was your emotions like?
I don't know if I've ever been trolled for such a long period of time. Because it wasn't even just that game. It started with the freaking Colts losing to the Jaguars. There, I was like, I feel like it's gonna happen. And then to watch that entire game, I was just like, because I don't want us to be in the playoffs. And I was just like, bro, this is. I've never been trolled for such a long period of time in my life.
You know, it's funny. I said this on Let's Tighten Up this week. The coach, this Steelers team remind me of the Titans team, Mike Mularkey's last year, like 3 or 4 years ago. We made the playoffs and we played at Kansas City. Now, this is Alex Smith's Kansas City Chiefs. I think Travis Kelce got hit with a concussion. We were down 21-3. Travis Kelce got knocked out of the game. We came back. That was the game Mario threw a touchdown pass to himself. And that year, I was feeling like you, Skyler. I was like, low-key didn't want the Titans to make the playoffs because I wanted us to fire Mike Mularkey. Then we got in the playoffs and won a playoff game. And I was like, dang, like as a fan, I was like, yeah, I'm glad we won. But I'm like, dang, I want us to fire Mike Mularkey. Luckily, we actually did fire him anyway. So it ended up working out. I got the best of both worlds. But those teams do mirror each other. Our offense sucked that year. Steelers offense, same thing this year.
Terrible.
Yeah, and they won ugly ass games that was like, how the heck did we win that game? So it's similar. It's a very similar team. It definitely reminds me of that.
All right, Scott, I'm gonna leave you alone for now. So tomorrow, if they win, answer your phone. All right. Anyway, last game we got Cardinals and Rams. We're gonna do reverse order this time. I'll go first. Y'all know me. I don't believe in Kyler Murray. I don't believe in the Cardinals. D-Hop ain't playing. The Cardinals are. I don't know. They went 1-5, something like that. Last couple of games, and they beat the Cowboys, who I don't think is that good anyway. So give me the LA Rams, who I had win the Super Bowl. So I'm gonna pick the LA Rams.
That was a cute little jab there, Savage. Real cute.
A little love tap, man.
Yeah, I love it. I think that this victory does go to the Rams. It's time I don't believe in Kyler Murray. I think that they were supposed to beat the Cowboys, and we sucked that game. But the Cardinals were impressive in the beginning of the season, and they have literally kind of like their switch is halfway off, so to speak. I don't know if J.J. Watt is coming back for them, but last time I checked, Aaron Donald is still a force to be reckoned with. Jalen Ramsey, you don't throw to. And they got some studs, and they got, of course, Cooper Kupp, who should be an MVP candidate and possibly Offensive Player of the Year, along with a great head coach as well calling the game. So I think he's going to definitely outcoach Cliff Kingsbury. And I really don't think it might not even be that close. So give me the Rams, actually.
These two quarterbacks are who I said were under the most pressure going into Wild Card Weekend. Kyler Murray, of course, proved that you're worthy of a new contract that's coming up. And, of course, Matt Stafford, you're in a whole new situation. You're not in Detroit anymore. And now you're back in the playoffs. You have a team around you. So what do you have to say? But the Cardinals have looked just terrible over the last couple of weeks. So give me the Rams in this one.
Agree with Trevor. Like the Cardinals have not looked great, and I think it's more so to do with DeAndre Hopkins being out. They just have not made adjustments offensively to try to be any remotely type good on offense. Matthew Stafford has also been really, I wouldn't say really, really bad, but he has been very turnover prone. So I think he makes a turnover or two in this game to at least keep it close. But I'm still going to go with the Rams just for the simple fact I think Cooper Kupp is unguardable, and I'm not sure if the Cardinals have anybody to stop that connection between him and Matthew Stafford. So the Rams for me.
I'm gonna also go with the Rams as well. I don't have them winning the Super Bowl per se. And I make the decision once the game gets closer, but I do have them going to the Super Bowl. It sucks being out here in Arizona and having to see Kyler Murray's season just decline because I actually had him winning MVP this season. I'm not sure what happened with them this season, but hopefully they get it together next season because the Super Bowl is actually out here. But as far as this season goes, like I said, I do have the Rams going to the Super Bowl. So it starts with beating Kyler Murray's Cardinals.
And I also go with the Rams. As y'all know, I don't believe in the Rams, and they will lose the next game after this one. But in this case, I believe in the Cardinals less because none of these quarterbacks are trustworthy. But I trust Matthew Stafford a little more because DeAndre Hopkins is out for the Cardinals.
All right, gentlemen, that's it then. That is it. Cardinals have no corners. They do not.
Nope.
Got Buda Baker though.
That man hit somebody, boy.
No, agreed. But he got Buda Baker back there though.
He gonna stop the run. He ain't gonna stop the pass.
One NFC West team will make the NFC Championship game, if not the Super Bowl this year.
What team he alluding to? Because he's a 49ers fan. I think he just make a prediction one team and make it one of these two teams of the 49ers. But he's 49ers fan. Just put that out there. But anybody got trolling now? You gotta play the team zone.
I mean, I got two actually. I give two.
Let me hit the theme song then.
Hey.
Is you trolling? Is you trolling? Is you trolling? Is you trolling? Yeah, I might be. Yeah, I might be. Yeah, I might be. Yeah, I might be. Yeah, I'm geeked up.
I still feel good to hear that way because I feel like at this point, Savage and I should be photoshopped into that photo, but that's neither here nor there.
Hey, bro, if they can Photoshop some crab legs on the Wendy's ad, we can shop y'all into that.
Hey, exactly.
All right, y'all. So, like I said, I got two of them. The first one will be so, of course, the trade deadline is coming up, and I thought of a good trade. Shut up. I thought of a good trade between the Pacers and the Bulls, and that'll be Vucevic for Miles Turner in pieces. I think if you look at the Chicago Bulls team right now, their only kind of weakness will be their interior defense, and I think Miles Turner will help with that. Even though Vuce is a pretty good inside presence, you only have one basketball, and I think Miles Turner will be a difference maker going forward outside of Vucevic. So what y'all think?
I'm actually gonna say troll, just because I know what you're getting with Miles Turner as far as the defensive side, but Vucci Man the Flair, that man is a walking double-double. I'm sorry. I know he's not the greatest as far as defensively, but I'm pretty sure there was a game where he, Levine, and DeMar DeRozan were all in double digits. I think all of them had 20. So it's a formula that's working right now in Chicago. So I'm gonna say troll here. Like I said, it's interesting, and I know what I'm getting with Miles Turner, but yeah, Vucci Man, that's a walking double-double, man. You gotta ride that out.
Yeah, y'all got my guy saying, man, he from Nashville.
Oh, Lord.
He a Bulls fan, so yeah.
Vucci Man was clear, man.
I like the trade. I don't know if it'll be made because they're in the same division. They'll be competing for the next couple of years.
Forgot about that.
But then again, though, I mean, Memphis traded JV to the Pelicans, so it ain't like it's impossible.
Right.
The Bulls do need a rim protecting big man because Mr. Antetokounmpo up in Milwaukee is getting to the goal at will against most teams, and so you need that can protect the rim. But I don't think they will trade. I think that they'll stand unless something crazy happens. So I think it's a troll.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I was going to say it's not a troll for the simple fact it's like a bad trade. It's something that I personally wouldn't look at if I was Bulls management. Because what you have right now, like the roster they currently have, is fairly new, right? Like they haven't even I think they just got the Rose and they just got Lonzo Ball, and so you see that team working. I wouldn't move off anybody off the team right now. I would maybe give it another year or two to kind of see how the playoffs work, but I wouldn't touch that roster right now.
Yeah, the way this roster is intact, to everyone's point, I like where they're at. So I'm gonna say troll, like I said already before you even put it out there. And one thing I want us to remember is Miles Turner did not drag the Pacers to the playoffs. Vucci Man dragged the Magic to the playoffs. You can't even really recall the players besides Aaron Gordon's bum self on that team. But like legitimately, I really believe that Vucci is a better player than Miles Turner. I understand if you get some other players pieces as well, but Vucci, man, LaFleur is definitely going to give you 20 and 10, possibly in the playoffs. If not 20 and 10, because I know DeRon shoots a lot more and Zach LaVine, but maybe at least 15 and 10. But yeah, if they can find somebody that could just rim protect, to everyone's point, as a power forward or even a backup center as well, I think that would be a great and smart move for them. Because again, Giannis is getting to the cup. You're going to have to see KD, excuse me.
Oh, okay.
You're going to see some players, they'll get out the first round, I assume. But once that second round hits, that's when the boys become men. And I think Vucci is ready to take that and to send that far because now he has a team around him besides him dragging Orlando.
Bismack
Biyombo?
Hey, Ryan, you can go ahead and clock out.
Man,
I would have said Mo Bamba before him.
Please clock out.
Bismack Biyombo.
Because I got.
Man, tell him.
Ain't he playing for the Suns right now?
Man,
Well,
he's
yeah,
just we're like a UFC fighter. That man ugly.
So did you have
let me get this other one, man.
Oh no, I can't answer.
Oh, go ahead, Shark.
Oh,
I have one after Tuke's second one.
Okay, cool. You got to clock out.
Hey, bro, y'all need prayer. All y'all need prayer. Y'all cyberbullying, bro. That was me.
Oh, man.
Might call UFC fighters ugly. Golly.
Back to my guy Mike. Hey, I would say you ain't heard stuff, and I won't come at you like that, man. Like,
Nigga, as long as he spell man without a Y, he good.
I know you
Thank
man.
you. At least he knows how to spell, man.
He know how to spell, man. We good out here, dog.
You cool with me, man. We don't be for Nashville. We don't be for all Nashville. You cool.
Hey, you're a Memphian at heart. Let's just put it like that.
But I would say Tro, only because the Bulls defense has shout out to Coach Savage. I'm gonna go ahead and give him somewhat of a shout out, I guess, barely. But their defense have been pretty good, even with Vucevic. I think their problem was Kyle got hurt. Forgot the guy's name, the rookie Pat Williams. He got hurt. He's out for the season, so that's hurting them more than anything. And trading Vucevic with Miles Turner, I don't see that just being like I see the rim protector piece of it, but it's like you're taking away. I wouldn't make that trade. But what was the deal? I want to post it on Twitter. It was Vucevic and picks, or for Miles Turner, or what?
It was Miles Turner and picks. Miles Turner and others were for Vuce. Yeah, Chicago
gotta give up more because they're the one that needs a big man. Indiana just kind of like, we need picks, so they would want picks for Miles Turner.
I think I think I had to make the salaries even up, so I think that's why I had like Miles Turner and others.
Hey
man, don't disrespect DJ like that. Chill.
Raise your hand if you still knew that DJ Augustine was still in the league. Raise your hand if you knew.
Where he at?
Who he with?
Exactly. Thank you. It's 2 out of 6.
Look, I forget that Trey Burke was still for the Mavericks, man. Like, he's still playing? Okay.
He's still with them.
All these folks on 10-day. They on 10-day contracts. That's what they are.
Jesus.
Indiana trying to start over. They trying to get rid of everybody. So
it'd be a good look for them too.
It's interesting. The deal is interesting, but I wouldn't mess with their roster. Not just yet.
Cool. My second one, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. At this point, it really shouldn't be a troll. It's just funny to say. Andrew Wiggins is about to be an all-star starter, y'all.
Starter?
Troll.
All right.
Okay, hold on. Who in the West?
All right, look at the I got it up now. I love the energy.
Yes. He won't be a starter.
Starter, all-star starter.
Because they pick what, 3 front court. They pick 3 front court people, right?
He's not.
Yeah, 3 front court, 2 back.
Jokic. Andrew Wiggins is third as of now. Paul George is done. Is done. He's leading. He's beating Anthony Davis by 500,000 right now. And Warriors going hard with that. And he's
not starting. So you did all that talking for him to not start.
Get out of here. Get well stone, Paul George. Get well stone. That man out of here.
Bet.
Andrew Wiggins.
You know it's a media and coach vote, right?
Thank you.
Okay, so who they gonna vote for then? Because they ain't gonna vote for AD.
It's gotta be John Curry as the starting guard.
There you go.
That's true. That's cool. Andrew Wiggins is in the front court now.
Man,
You know
put Book on the
I'm
wing.
with you.
Luka,
I'm
actually
actually with you.
Put Luka on the wing too. Yeah, put him on
right.
the wing.
Y'all naming all these guards. Y'all naming guards. Y'all naming guards. Y'all are naming guards.
Dude,
Wiggins is
I'm
third.
with you.
Andrew Wiggins
Y'all are
starting.
saying guards.
I'm with
He
you
did
too.
all of
You
that
gotta
talking
choose
for
3
him not
front
to
court
even
players.
start.
Thank you, Trevor. Thank you. You know where I'm going with this, right?
Because
That
LeBron
man-
has one spot, Jokic has the other spot. Who's the
Hey,
third front court player?
hey, hold on, whoa, hold on, because you're coming for my Memphis card, bro. And I don't appreciate somebody that ain't got no good ass wings coming for me like that, bro.
The realest podcast.
Besides home coming to TSU, what y'all doing, bro? What y'all doing
No,
without
I
home
mean-
coming to TSU, bro? What y'all doing, bro? Don't come for me unless I send for you, dog. That's what we're not gonna do.
Somebody's gonna have to start at that spot, and it's gonna be Andrew Wiggins by default.
Okay, hold on, man. Hold on. Who on the front court? Let me see. Hold
I
on,
did
man.
It's
all
gonna
that.
be Andrew
Look it
Wiggins
up
by
before-
default.
Look it up.
Ain't no way, man.
I didn't think you was gonna get this.
Sharky and Shooty, let us three have a conversation. They did all that talking for that man not to start. He's not
Andrew
going
All
to
right.
Wiggins, man, get out of
He's
here.
not
All right,
starting.
all right.
Y'all know
with
Andrew
you.
Wiggins is
If
averaging
Andrew
20 and
Wiggins
having
is
his most
starting-
season of the year, right? Yes.
I'll give him all-star. He been hooping. I'll give him
Yeah,
Yeah,
all-star.
not up to
that's
him.
far.
He's not
Yes,
starting.
he's going to start. He is going to start because
I see Andrew
everybody,
Wiggins on my screen, bro.
everybody else is injured right now in the front court. Everybody else is injured.
Come on, Trevor.
That man's gonna start
Preach
by
on, Trevor.
default. You might as well get ready for it.
We're gonna start 3 big men. Give me Jokic, give me Gobert,
Right.
give me Carl Anthony Towns or something. I better not see no
All
damn
right.
Wiggins.
Draymond might get that joint.
Give me Draymond. Yeah, give me Draymond. Because I ain't dealing with that. man.
Everybody Draymond over Wiggins. The
Go
coach
Andrew
been
Wiggins
weird.
is shooting 49% from the field goal. And
Hold on, no.
42
I'm just saying the media and the
18
coaches will
and-
choose Draymond over
Yeah.
Wiggins.
Give me John Conchar. I ain't gonna watch no Andrew Wiggins.
All right, clock out. Big John. Big John.
Hold on, Big John just turned up though.
Hey, Big John,
Not last night.
Up, man.
Not
Hey,
last night, though.
5 on tomorrow.
I was at the game last night. Oh, he's here.
Man, give me Jaren. Man, get Wiggins out of here. Give me Jaren, bro. Man.
All right,
Now we might.
Hey,
DeAndre ain't got more votes than Jaren.
I will agree with y'all there. I would much rather see anybody else that y'all name except Andrew Wiggins. But if you really want to look at it, this is a fan vote, and all these other guys that we mentioned has been out with injuries for a significant amount of time. That man is going to be an all-star starter. We all might as well get ready for
You know what? Why am I even
Air
concerned? 'Cause I
horn.
don't care about All-Star game. I'm all NBA team. Let me stop. You right. Let me stop. My bad. Sorry, my bad. I entertained stupidity this year. My bad.
it. Exactly. It's the all-star game, so don't even
Keep the same energy. Keep that.
From now
I
on,
think this is gonna
from
be
now
this much.
on, Sharky, from now
I should
on,
have
we
started
would
off
never
with
go
this one.
more.
I thought this
We
was
would
gonna be
never go more
you
than a
know.
month without recording. That
Yes.
would be, I got too much built up frustration for me. I don't even know if YouTube gonna let us stream this joint. Like they may not even let us air this. Y'all are silent.
Wow.
It's your live. What you talking about? We here.
Hey,
We
Hey,
just
Sharky,
talked 6.
pull up the comment about the hot chicken. I ain't finished.
Ah, Lord.
Hey, Nashville hot
enough
chicken is
time.
busting,
chicken
bro.
is fine.
Hot chicken
Hot
good.
chicken is
No,
fine.
I ain't finished reading the rest though. Like, I ain't debating no.
Ah, yeah, I can take this to Twitter.
National Museum of African American.
Y'all
Man, y'all
credit.
the country music capital, man. Get out of here with that. Come on, bro.
They
Y'all
do
talk
have
about
that
it,
museum.
man.
That museum.
All right, I give you his Twitter account. Y'all go ahead on Twitter, man. We got
yeah.
I'm pretty.
I got you.
I come in peace. I come in peace. I didn't think this trolling I was gonna get that.
Hey, that's not Jordan Hills.
It wasn't heated. He ain't
So
started.
much hostility.
I'm
Thank you,
gonna
thank
make
you.
mine. I'm gonna make mine quick. I know it's gonna be a troll, but it's a bold statement. With Philadelphia now coming out and saying that they do not want De'Aaron Fox in the deal for Ben Simmons, I think Game 7 against the Hawks. I think Ben Simmons has played his last NBA game. I don't think the Sixers are gonna find a deal for him.
NBA, like period, like he's done
Maybe the
so
last
many
game for the
years.
Sixers.
For the Sixers or
yeah.
for the NBA?
For the NBA, I don't think they're gonna
no.
find a deal for him.
Oh, no.
And when his
It's
contract is
like
done,
10.
nobody's gonna touch him.
All
Yeah,
defense.
you done-
Come on.
He didn't dibble dabble in the Henny too early. It's a little bit early.
He had the Henny privilege. I think we talked about this team already.
funny,
I
man.
think a better trade partner is the Pacers. No, I don't see that. But I mean, to be honest, I don't think Ben Simmons has played his last game. But I think he's played his last game, and not in the NBA, but the last game for the 76ers, possibly, yes. But I think they can find something to do. The better question would be who's going to play first. It would be Ben Simmons or John Wall. That would probably been a better question. But regardless of the fact, I think Ben Simmons has not played his last game.
I just feel that Daryl Morey is not going to get out of his own way, and the rest of the NBA is just like, no, like this is what we're going to offer for him. Take it or leave it. And I think both sides to a potential deal is going to be stalwart that this is going to drag out for a good little minute, and then once that contract is done, I just don't see it. But maybe I'm wrong.
Who his agent is?
I know who his agent is, but I also know who Daryl Morey is.
Nah, not for like forever though, and he's barely 25, 26. Nah.
If Lance Stevenson can come back twice,
he shouldn't have left. Let's just be honest. He shouldn't have left. He shouldn't have left Indiana if we want to be real.
Mario Chalmers got a 10-day from the Miami Heat.
Ben gonna be in California this year in Sacramento. He's gonna be in California.
I hope so. That'll be nice.
Now for the Clippers or for the Lakers?
He's there for Sacramento.
Sacramento.
So you think they get a deal done?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He's gonna realize that De'Aaron Fox and maybe I guess Buddy Hill or whoever throw in is gonna be the better deal the best deal he can get, really.
Yep.
And that's literally what the Sixers are missing.
I'm telling you,
Greg Monroe did get a 10-day.
Right.
No,
the
Sixers have already come out and said that they do not want De'Aaron Fox in a deal for Ben Simmons. They have,
and that's fine. They can leave with Maxey, but they can get Buddy Hill. They might even get Bagley because Bagley don't want to play for the Kings no more. And giving up Tobias Harris, and Ben Simmons, I guess. But I know the money's got to make sense. But if they don't want De'Aaron Fox, they're stupid, to be honest.
I agree.
De'Aaron Fox has been scoring, but
that's a troll for me.
Keep it this simple.
You got to do all this other stuff. Just like he said, Bo was going to do well in Detroit. Might need to pass his physical.
Yeah, y'all tripping with that one, bro.
Hey,
too much lying me. Too much lying me.
Hey, I said what I said. What happened. I take my L and I keep it moving.
Way to go, bro. Bobo turned a no, just like that. Like I said, y'all tripping with that, bro. Spending 5 minutes talking about Bobo on the Grizz podcast. Man, y'all tripping, man.
Hey,
y'all tripping. No. This name, no.
And with that, Cap, I think it's
all right.
Hey, optimism is a gift and a curse. So hey, it is what it is.
We needed this, man. It's been a month, fellas.
Welcome back.
It's a good way to start off 22, man.
So I start posting trolling odds on Twitter to get some Twitter engagement and votes on them. Shout out to everybody tuned in. My guy Ryan, my guy Mike Patton. Check out his show.
Shout out to the homie from Nashville.
Yep.
Yeah. Shout out to AP. Go check out his podcast, the All Purpose NFL podcast for all things NFL.
Shout out to
so
my guy
check
Ralph.
that out as well.
Shout out to my guy Ralph. Shout out to AP as well because he joined our Twitter Spaces every Thursday for the last couple weeks. So definitely shout out to AP. Shout out to Ralph, man. Ralph Hammond, big handout. Check out his podcast, The Fellowship Hall. They like if you watch like Power, Insecure, those shows, they do like show reviews of those. I seen y'all
check it out.
Very, very solid, really good stuff. Him and the twins, Ken and Keith. And I hope I'm missing other people, but yeah, shout out to everybody just tuned in. Zach, I got Zach. He tuned in every week, stuff, everything. Got J Films, everyone. So appreciate y'all, man. It's gonna be a big year. 2022 on the way. Let's be real here.
Let's get it.
And till next time, we out after this promo. Welcome to Let's Be Real Media, a podcast network that provides your official game plan for sports, culture, and music. Headlined by the Let's Be Real podcast featuring P Shark, Scott Lido, Tel Shakir, Trevor, Sheedy, and Savage, and includes other podcasts like the I Don't Know Sports podcast by Savage, the Let's Tighten Up podcast by P Shark, Scooting with Sheedy by none other, the name says it itself, Sheedy, Pittsburgh County podcast by Trevor, and Let's Talk About It by Uncle Mike. You can follow us on social media at LB Real Media on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And as you can see, the website, go on the website, lbrealmedia.com to check us out. Thanks. All right, we out. Next time.
Peace.
Stay black. Shout out to Parker Fleming.
He did.
We still alive.